When the mercury soars beyond 120 degrees, the metal of man burns through. As record heat melts contenders, the grit of some shines for all to see. Who has what it takes to overcome the elements and top-level competition? Killian Carroll, Daniel Cordova, David Fink, and Shorty Ruiz lead an all-star-studded group in search of glory. Now we find out on WPHLive.tv with Patron as legends of the game compete for cash and the right to claim the King of the Desert. Icebreaker 11 from Clark Park in Tucson, Arizona starts right now. And welcome back to the park. My name is Dave Vincent alongside David Fink for this quarterfinal match. Sam Esser, Stephen Cooney. That's kind of one that we haven't seen in the past, so this is fresh for us, Dave, as they get underway here in the first round of this Icebreaker number 11.
These guys have never played, both in search of their first Icebreaker win. Stephen Cooney played an Icebreaker exhibition late last year, actually on a road trip from New York to California where he moved, and Sam Esser has played 5 Icebreaker matches and come up with 0 wins, so something will give here.
Killian Carroll is our number 1 seed. Shorty Ruiz, Abraham Montijo, and Dave Fink come in at number 2, 3, and 4, respectively. Leo Canales is our 5 seed. Daniel Cordova comes in at 6. You see Sam Esser up there at the 7 seed, and he's facing number 10, Stephen Cooney. Adam Bernhardt was the 12 seed. John Chapman, number 9, and Emmett Pachot, the 8 seed, as we look at the brackets.
We call this Sam's home courts. He plays here quite a bit.
And that first serve going to Cooney there with Sam Esser. Best 2 out of 3 to 15 breaker, also 15, win by 2. This is the cockroach cam, Dave, and I love this camera angle. I'm sure maybe you don't like it because it gives you vertigo. I know how your vertigo gets.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know what that is.
It sounds like proof that I'm just making stuff up. I don't like the way that sounds.
But you wouldn't do that.
Of course I wouldn't.
Sam is one of these guys, Dave, like Mondo Ortiz or Alan Garner, who's actually left-handed. He can really roll the ball with his left hand, that time in air with his right.
To me, I agree with that reference, obviously, with the left-hand, right-hand stuff, but he reminds me of Dane Zatkowski when he plays 3-wall. Just has that snap at the last second with his right hand and also with his left. Dane seemed like he can play with you a little bit more on that roof and then snap the ball when you're not expecting it, but very similar.
There's that beautiful left. Stephen Cooney now living in Southern California. So since the tour started, Dave, he started as an Irish player when he made his debut, moved to New York City, now living in Southern California. So he's making his way west, that's what I'm saying, Dave.
Eventually he'll be in Hawaii and then possibly working his way further to Tahiti, and we'll see what happens next.
I'm looking forward to it. Sam has put his roots down here in Tucson, Dave, working as development director for USHA, and he's also going to be married in September. To our number 2 ranked women's Icebreaker pro.
Did not hear about that proposal.
Well, he tried to send you an invitation, but you move every other week, so I know you don't get a lot of your mail.
I do, but it has to be forwarded 4 times before it gets to me. 6 months late. Still haven't received a stimulus check. Sure the government's happy about that. I hear that the checks spend well. Not mine.
No. Could get yourself some new lenses for your wildlife photography.
It's just a hobby.
Stephen has to hit more fish shots than anyone in the sport, Dave. In fact, it's unusual if he's not hitting a fish shot.
Kind of rushed that last one there.
Stephen says he's trying to play some 3-wall in Southern California. Pretty nice conditions right now, Dave. 6 a.m. local time. Not sure we'll be saying the same in a couple of hours.
Now the heat index on the court is expected to be about 135 when we hit our peak for the day, which is around 2 to 4 o'clock. The all-time highest temperature ever recorded in Tucson was 117 degrees. Today is expected to be around 115, 116.
Feels like it's been 117 every day for the last 3 weeks.
I think some parts of town it actually gets above that. It's just that they record this at the airport. You know how it goes.
I did.
Here's our Clark Park facility. 10-1 is the score of game number 1, with Sam Esser in the lead versus Stephen Cooney. This game of handball needs Stephen Cooney, I think. He's one of those characters that can be really, really good, but he kind of brightens up the game a little bit when he's at your tournament. Very likable guy. I don't know anybody that is on tour that doesn't like him. I mean, he's always in a good mood. Never see him upset unless he's on the court upset with himself, but that doesn't happen often.
He was the vice president of handball at the NYAC. I know they're going to miss him there. I don't know if he keeps his post, Dave, from the West Coast.
I doubt it.
Okay. You mentioned Dane Statkowski, Dave. Dane is known as having the best serve in 3-wall. That's something Sam is still developing outdoors. I think he's got the potential to have a great serve, but hasn't quite found it yet. $14-1 though. He's found something here. Looks like he's about to come off the schneid. That 0-5 record is going to come to an end.
Score here is 1-14. Second serve coming from Steve Cooney. Well, I hear confetti falls from the sky when you win that first match.
It's actually ice here.
Colored. Confetti looking ice. And now Cooney scoring a few points back to back.
Pretty amazing here, Dave. Most handball matches start 7 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock in the morning. No one's on time. Everyone here on time for the 6 a.m. start.
Yeah, I think they knew how severe the weather was going to be, and they definitely wanted to get their matches off. I've heard a couple players say it was 100 degrees at midnight last night. And there's that first game going to Sam Esser. He takes it here in the quarterfinals. Clark Park, Tucson, Arizona. Dave, as you sum it up, what did Sam do that Stephen was unable to do?
Well, he had Stephen on his heels, retrieving most of the game. Sam was able to dictate play, as you saw here, coming off of a great serve, and this is about a 2-inch high rollout. Perfect shot. Stephen just playing too much defense, not enough stepping in, not enough chances to play aggressively.
Score for Stephen Cooney, 3, Sam Esser gets 15 points. This is the quarterfinals. Winner is going to face Shorty Ruiz. Game number 2 coming up here in Tucson, Arizona. Here we are back for game number 2. First serve going to Steve Cooney. He loses the first one 3-15. Game 2 against Sam Esser. And a quick side out.
Nice left there from Sam. He drives the ball with so much power, even from the back line, that Stephen unable to handle that. That's when you know you're putting a lot of heat on the ball with your offhand. And that's that local knowledge coming into play, knowing how to use that ceiling. And Sam's become very good at using the ceiling with both hands.
I thought he was pretty far back to hit that ceiling shot, but yet he made it look really easy. And he had a lot of room to spare, too. I mean, it takes a lot of confidence to go up there.
Look at that left.
Sam's another guy that, much like Cooney, just don't see a lot of emotion coming from him. Always in a good mood.
These guys are the greatest.
And you see the way Sam's playing, and you say, why isn't this guy like in the top 5, top 4?
Well, this is a future top 5 guy, just a matter of time. Sam is unquestionably on the short list of future top American stars, if he's not already there. If you're thinking about guys 26 and under, he's got to be at the top of your list.
That was a beautiful shot there, left to front on the replay.
Nice serve there, slides it on the wall.
Cooney looked like he went for a fish shot to defend that.
I'm impressed with Stephen's left fist shots out here.
Seems that Sam's closing off a lot of Cooney's angles by just kind of positioning his body perfectly on the court here, flanking him.
Tough to win your rallies sprinting in from the back line and scooping a fly kill. But that seems what Stephen has to do here.
Yeah, the return of serve in the outdoor game is so important, because you could be way past the baseline and your opponent doesn't even have to be perfect up front in order for you to lose the point. There's that fish shot you're talking about from Cooney. Steve should have just stayed up front and popped that ball off the ceiling. Instead, he just ran back immediately, but I think he was in better position to stay up front, at least take that chance. Cooney should have won that rally twice. But when he had the chance to put it away, he kept the ball up. Timeout being called on the court here. Here is the court, the facility at Clark Park.
I was hoping you could talk a little bit about that white tent that we see back there, Dave.
Well, it was really brief, but next time we get that overhead look,
I want to see what's
make
going on
sure
in
that
white
you
tent.
look for the white tent. That's a cooling station. There's
Okay.
misters that are in there with a
Yeah.
fan, and it's trying to keep the temperature low. It's about 25 degrees cooler inside the...
It feels like about 60 degrees cooler when you're coming from
I bet, yeah.
the sun. And
Now, if you get a cold breeze coming through there, it might even be better. That might be something that we look at. Instead of making it a cube inside, releasing one of those walls, let the wind
kind of like a 3-wall cube.
Yeah. Or maybe 2-wall. Just doing what we can to try to make sure the players don't get heat exhaustion.
Could you turn that white cube into a sauna in the winter when the icebreakers take place
Yeah.
February?
Yeah, we could do the opposite of that.
Right.
We replace the water with propane, and we set it on fire. Just something to look forward to. By the way, when it gets cold in Tucson, instead of 117, it's 87 degrees outside, which I know is a...
Well,
Is
we
it-
did have a 42-degree start for the first women's icebreaker.
That's true. And it actually was icebreaker. We had to break the ice off the court.
Yeah. This is kind of like the NFL. They start the season at 105 degrees and end it at negative 20.
Yeah, I just don't understand that. I mean, as we see a pretty good rally here. There's some stadiums where there's dome stadiums. They have natural grass. They have artificial turf. You have some of the games are played at well over 100 degrees. Some of the towns never see anything less than 80 degrees all year long, while others have freezing temperatures, negative. Minnesota, yeah, they're in a dome now, but think of the old days like Lambeau and
Lambeau's still
New England.
happening.
Yeah, well, New England, where the temperatures get really low and you'll see snow flurries. It's kind of strange to play in all those different environments. But that's sort of outdoor handball in a way.
I don't think anyone can complain about the conditions right now. Really nice out here right now.
This is a great day right now. But just 2 days ago, we broke an all-time record here in Tucson of hitting 100 degrees at 8:13 in the morning. Let that sink in. A lot of people get up and go for a morning walk, and they can't do it. They have to go leave at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Walk, is that with a W?
It's W-O-K.
Oh.
When I say walk, that's what it means.
Okay.
I don't know what you're referring to. A timeout being called here in game number 2. First game going to Sam Esser.
Very little humidity, though, should be noted, which does make a difference.
Yeah, well, once the monsoons hit, though,
Well, then it's a different story.
then we're talking about 70% humidity or more. Sam Esser just 5 points away now from taking this game 2 and advancing to the semis.
Stephen clips the side wall with that return. Makes for a more difficult fly kill. I would like to see Stephen get back to the top of his game because very dangerous player. He broke onto the tour 2013 at the U.S. Open, just outstanding ball. Had the hip surgery and since some shoulder problems. He's got a lot of game.
4-10, all right?
And I believe he was also an Elite 8, at least Elite 8 invite at one point.
Yes.
So he was in the top 8.
He's one of these guys that is about a 95% qualifier winner. When he gets in that qualifier, he's going to make it through just about every time. That's not easy to do.
And there it is, right at the camera. It's a double fault for Cooney.
I think you'll see Sam work his way into the top 8 by the end of the upcoming Race for 8 season. That schedule is just about set. I know Sam's already booked his tickets for the first stop in Montana. Shot. He holds that to the last second because we've seen Sam kill a number of shots from that shoulder height, but then he makes the fist and just rips that ball to the ceiling. Huge Kansas City Chiefs fan. Even his golf tees are Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, he loves Patrick Mahomes as his favorite athlete. 5'10" is Sam Esser, and he resides here in Tucson, Arizona. His highest ever WPH Pro ranking is number 10, and as you said, you felt like he's going to break into the number 8 spot at least in this upcoming season. His strengths, consistency, mental toughness, 2 great hands, his speed.
No, the guy's just got everything.
Looks, I'm not sure if that's a strength on the court.
It is.
Sometimes it's intimidating to look at a good-looking...
Part of the face team.
Yeah, good-looking dude out there.
There's a tennis tournament going on, Dave, just on the other side of this wall. They start at 5 a.m. under the lights. There's that beautiful punch kill. Haven't seen many of those left-handed punch kills from Stephen Cooney. That was really a trademark of his game when he was at the top of his game.
That's one he wants back. That shot with his right hand, that was the right shoulder that he had the surgery on, right? Or has not had the surgery yet, but it's still been lingering for the last 5 years.
What a shot.
Esser now just 2 points away from advancing here from the quarters to the semis. The winner is going to face Shorty Ruiz. That winner might be right here as Sam Esser serving for the game and match. And there it is. He takes it, wins game number 2 and the match, Dave. Quickly, what did Sam do that Steve Cooney didn't here in this one?
Well, you saw Sam play the ceiling very well when he had to. He drove the ball nicely high and down the walls, and a lot of good kill shots with his right and left hand.
Sam Esser wins 15-3, 15-5. He will now advance to the quarterfinals to face Shorty Ruiz a little bit later on this morning. Thanks for tuning in to the Icebreaker Challenge in Tucson, Arizona at Clark Park. For Dave Fink, my name is Dave Vincent. Stay here at WPHlive.tv for more.